to a special Mocktail episode of
Brutal Battle.
We have done some non-alcoholic episodes. If people remember, we did a few episodes of non-alcoholic beers last year. And we've actually been doing a subscription Mocktail box, which for people who don't know, Mocktails are alcohol-free cocktails. Because, you know, we've been known to like a cocktail here and there, and we're trying to cut down on our alcohol consumption. So last year I decided it's nice just to have things to sip on, and that's the main reason we drink beer. It isn't necessarily for the alcohol, it's for the flavor. So I was like, a mocktail, that sounds awesome. So if we are taking a break or we're trying to cut down on alcohol, which is our situation now, do a mocktail. It's 0 proof, and it should be super tasty. So we found a company called Raising the Bar, and actually we got in pretty early. You may have heard about them now, but when we got in with them, I think they had only been doing it for like 2 or 3 months. Yeah, it had only been like 2 or 3 months. And we got in on it and immediately really liked the recipes they were putting out. So we've subscribed ever since. So I guess we've been doing it for, I don't know, about almost a year at this point. And so what we're doing for this episode is we're going to taste 2 of the mocktails that we made from subscription boxes of theirs. And it is monthly. And just kind of talk about what's in each of these recipe-wise and just our feelings on them. And we'll do the normal beer evaluation. But I have to give credit, this was whose idea?
My idea.
Yeah. Rebecca was
Something
like...
different.
Rebecca was like, hey, we're doing like some non-alcoholic stuff here and there, so why don't we do a mocktail one? And I was like, that's perfect because we have mocktails available right now. And I will be honest, like, I'm mainly the bartender. I'm using air quotes because I don't really consider myself to have skills as a bartender or be good enough to really be considered one. So within our house, I'm the bartender.
Yeah. And you will need, a good shaker is going to be good to have, as well as a jigger.
So they do, like, in their subscription boxes, they will send stuff like that. Like, they did send a shaker for us at one point. They did send a jigger. But they're usually... Like, the shaker was small, and it was, like, 1 drink size. So we wanted to be able to do 2 at a time. So we got a larger shaker that was nicer. The jigger actually started rusting immediately, so it was very poor quality. So we were like, yeah, we'll just get, like, a much better one. So we've upgraded a bunch of our little extras that they've given. They also included, like, a long spoon for stirring drinks. That one's fine. We still have that.
We use that. Yeah.
So a lot of the times they'll throw in these things. My favorite of which was their ice sphere mold, I guess, like cube tray, but it's only for 1. So literally you just pour in water to a certain line and then put the top on it, put it in the freezer, and it makes you an ice sphere, which if you kind of want to see what that looks like, I'm going to put up a picture on brutalbattle.com for this episode. I took a picture of the 2 drinks after we made them.
They look pretty similar.
Yeah, they do, actually. But you can see the sphere in one of them, because one's in a tall glass and one's in, like, a little, like, bourbon glass. I don't even know what you would call it, honestly.
I don't know. We're not
super savvy with this stuff, but... Oh, also, I do need to say that this isn't sponsored or anything. We just like the product. Like, you know us. We never had sponsorships or anything like that. We just talk about products we like, and we like this product, so... Yeah.
You want to talk about the price point for each box?
Yeah. So let's go ahead and say, so you can do it a few ways. You can do it just by month to month, which if you want to start out, it might be good to do it that way to figure out if it's for you or not.
You also can buy one-off boxes.
Yes.
Which we did for gifts.
Actually, yes, that's probably the best way to go to see if you like it. Just do a one-off box instead of doing a 1-month subscription, because it will renew if you don't stay on top of it and you don't want it. But if you're going to do the subscription, it's $53 a month plus $8.50 for shipping and handling. So it's kind of pricey. Yeah. But if you like it enough, you can cut the cost down monthly by paying ahead. So if you do like a 3-month, it's $51 a month. Still the $8.50 for shipping and handling. That's for all of them. So that's $51 a month for the 3-month. If you do 6-month, it's $50 a month. And if you do a year in advance, it's $48 a month. So you can drop it down. And
you make multiple drinks per box. It's not like you just make one drink. I mean, we probably get...
Usually 4. Sometimes
more.
Yeah, sometimes more.
Sometimes you end up with like more than... Like some of the products you use more quickly than others. So sometimes we'll have like leftover syrups and things like that.
Yeah, and that's actually, because I was saying that I'm actually enjoying like doing the bartender aspect of this, it's actually inspired me to get a little creative with those extra ingredients that we have left over. So I've kind of like done riffs on some of the mocktail recipes before, like substituting one thing or another thing, or just kind of coming up with whatever's in my head. And I think for the most part, I've done a decent job. I don't think I've had any that's just like, that's gross. So that's good.
Yeah.
Well, we can talk a little bit more, but let's get into the first one, which we haven't had this one
yeah,
yet.
Very
excited.
This one. I'm really excited about this one.
You want to go over what this one is?
What it is?
Yeah, go over
Okay.
it. And the recipe.
This was the December box.
And this one sold out quickly.
This one sold out because they were on the Today Show. Mm-hmm. So then they sold out. So this one is this is a sugar plum whiskey sour. Obviously, whiskey is in quotes because there's no whiskey in it.
It's made with Frisky whiskey by a brand called Sexy AF.
Yeah.
Which is funny.
2 ounces of the Frisky whiskey, half an ounce of Island Plum Shrub, 1 ounce of fresh lemon juice, 3 to 4 drops of a lime coriander bitter. We didn't put the egg white in there. And there's dried plums on top.
So they provide you with everything except usually like fresh fruit. They don't do that. So
obviously the egg white.
Yeah. So when you first get the box, you might not be able to make it immediately if it needs something like orange juice or lemon juice or lime juice, because they do have a decent amount of recipes that have those components. So just know you may have to, put off making it just so you can get the other ingredients from the grocery store.
And it says the alternative recipe is just omitting the egg white, which is what we did.
Yeah. We don't dig the idea of doing the egg whites, but if you do, there's 2 ways to do it. Okay, so we have this one in the kind of bourbon style glass, and it has the sphere ice cube, which I love using because it's fun.
It is fun. But one time we did get a square ice cube tray, which was fun too.
I don't really smell.
You smelling anything?
I don't smell a whole lot to it, but the Sexy AF Frisky whiskey actually kind of smells a little bit like the Sexy AF Spiced Yum, which is like their non-alcoholic rum, which was in another...
Which was in a mojito inspired one, which was good.
It was really good. And the Sexy AF Spiced Yum, I thought was awesome, and we had extra of it. So I'm planning on using that for something else. Or I might drink it straight up because I think it tastes that good.
I mean, you could do like a rum and Coke. You going in for a sip?
Yeah. It's pretty sweet. A lot of them are like kind of sweet, but there is that nice kind of acid from the lemon that comes through. Here, I took my first sip. You do. Because I only made one of each of these for us to just go ahead and share. It's just easier that way.
You think it's too sweet?
It's not too sweet. I'm just saying it is pretty sweet, and that just reminds me that a bunch of these end up being pretty sweet, but that's where, like, it's good because they kind of encourage you to just kind of, like, mess with the levels after you make it the first time.
Yeah.
With, like, maybe you want a little more acid to it, maybe you want a little more sweetness to it, and we've gone both ways before. Mm-hmm. Especially when we've had, like, the subscription box ones where it's, like, it has heat to it, like some chilies or something added. Like, one was, like, green chili bitters.
Right, and there was something else. There was another spicy syrup that went in it.
It was like a habanero syrup.
It was like a pineapple habanero drink.
And it was hot.
It was too spicy for us.
So, like, if you make it a second time and you're like us, then you would maybe go a little bit stronger on, like, the syrup with the sweetness and maybe cut back, the thing with the heat a little bit. But
I like that. I think
your thoughts?
I'm definitely getting, I don't know if I would pick out plum, but I'm definitely getting, like, something fruity.
Yeah, like a fruity sweet.
Definitely getting the citrus from the lemon. It's tasty. I think that's one of my favorite ones.
It's very good. It's
easy to drink.
It's got almost like a kind of like dark flavored maltiness to it that you might get in a beer somewhat, which I like. I'm really loving that aspect. This is a really nice sipper. I like the level of acidity to it too. That's kind of one of my favorite things with a lot of their recipes is when they have like an acid to it. I'll usually try to kind of like go a little bit heavier on the acid because I like that in it. And it helps to, helps to balance things out.
Yeah, I like that one. I wish we made 2 of those.
Yeah, but we have 2 drinks we can share.
I
I mean, and we have enough to make probably 3 more, so we can
True,
do
we
that.
have more lemons.
So yeah, but this is very nice.
And that was the juice of that was a juice of 1 lemon, because it's hard to know sometimes how much certain ounces is.
Yeah.
So it was 1 ounce, which was a full lemon. It was actually a Meyer lemon, so it was a little bit smaller.
I'm kind of thinking about just straight up trying that Frisky whiskey.
Okay.
To see how that is, because I feel like I'm tasting it pretty strongly in that drink, and it tastes really good.
Okay.
Okay, so the next one we have, well, we're only doing 2 because, we're doing shorter episodes in the new year.
So this one is called Apple of My Chai.
Mm-hmm.
And in there we have 1 ounce of the apple syrup. And the apple syrup is Morris Kitchen spiced apple syrup. It's a perfect mix of apple cider with warming blend of mulled spices. 2 ounces of a chai concentrate, which is the brand Dona. And I've seen that at our local coffee shop.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just as like making chai tea. 1 ounce ginger shrub, which is Mother Shrub's ginger shrub. And a shrub has like apple cider vinegar and cane sugar in it, so it has a little bit of a
sweetness to it.
Yeah, and a little bit of a vinegary, like kombucha style flavor.
And I'm smelling it right now. I do smell that in there.
2 ounces of fresh squeezed clementine juice. We just used an orange though.
Yeah.
An egg white, which we omitted. And it says you could use a liquid from a can of chickpeas for a vegan version.
Of the egg white.
Yeah.
That's smart. That's interesting.
And then club soda ice, and then a star anise for garnish.
Yeah, it's like dehydrated star anise, which since it's sitting on top of the drink.
That all you're smelling?
Yeah, no, it's not all I'm smelling. You smell it. I smell a good amount of it because it's sitting right there, but I smell a lot of chai, obviously.
Yeah, a lot of chai.
Yeah, because that chai spice is a pretty strong smell. Although I do smell that little bit of like the vinegariness that you were talking about as well. Yeah, and it's giving like a nice sweetness overall too.
Shrub can be very divisive.
I like it. I actually, when I was talking about going heavier on like the acid, I was thinking of the shrubs that they send. Like I like that vinegary acidness. Mm-hmm. I'm a fan. I mean, like one of the dressings that I use for salads has a bunch of apple cider vinegar in it, so I like that type of thing.
I don't love it. I could probably make this drink without the ginger shrub and like it more, from what I remember.
Honestly, this just tastes like a lighter carbonated version of like a chai tea, in my opinion. And I don't really taste apple though.
I wonder if you should have stirred it after you put that.
It didn't say to.
Okay.
Because you do top it with club soda, which we didn't. I forgot to before we took the picture of the 2 drinks. So if you look at the picture, just know that the club soda is not in it at that point. I put it in after because Rebecca reminded me. She's like, "Did you put the club soda in?" I was like, "Nope, totally forgot." Your thoughts?
I think it's good.
It's very good.
Very chai forward. I was really excited about getting this one. I think this one was their...
I think it was like October
box.
Yeah.
Their November box, which was also very good, which was called Harvest Moon.
Oh, yeah.
Had a lot of theirs have like tea as their base. So you have to brew the tea, cool the tea, and then you add the different syrups and other liquids. But the Harvest Moon had blackberry tea, fig syrup.
Oh, so good.
It was really tasty.
So good. Yeah, the chai one, it's very fall.
Yeah.
And obviously it came out during fall in October, so it's a great fall flavor. As I drink it more, I'm getting more of the shrub coming through, which obviously I'm a fan of because I already spoke to that. But there's a nice sweetness to it, and there's a lot of like that chai tea type flavor. It's really good. I mean, and these are 2 pretty different flavors.
They're both very good.
I like them a lot, both. But what has been our favorite thus far?
My favorite, which was a surprise because I think
Same
we had
here.
the same favorite.
Yes.
Which was called Lady Lavender. And that had a lavender syrup, a lemon juice syrup. What else was in that one?
I mean, if you want to get the recipe card, you could just read off the recipe for it. Because I was insanely surprised with that one. I'm just talking while Rebecca goes to get it. I was insanely surprised with that one because I hate lavender for the most part, and it had a lavender syrup in it. But honestly, with the level of actual lavender flowerness to the syrup, plus all the other ingredients you put into it and how it balances things out, it was just the smallest kiss of it. And I felt like the sweetness kind of tamped down that lavender a lot, thankfully. And going into it, I was like, I'm not going to like this because I hate lavender. But like we're saying right now, it's been my favorite, and that's mind-blowing.
Yeah. So I counted our recipe cards because we always just keep them. Mm-hmm. We have 12 of them, so we've been doing it for a year.
Oh, we have been doing it for a year. Awesome. Ooh. Going from the chai one to the plum whiskey sour, I'm getting more of that frisky whiskey coming through. Like more of like a deep, more earthy sweetness. It's really, that's really nice. I think that's my favorite of the two, but they're both really good.
So the Lady Lavender,
they're both really good.
It says it's one cocktail 3 ways. So you can make it as a martini with egg whites or in a highball. You have 3.5 ounces of a plum tea.
Which, by the way, the tea ones get, like, the tea in these recipes when they use it gives so much depth of flavor. And I never expected that for a cocktail. Well, mocktail. Sorry, go ahead.
1 ounce of Sorva lavender syrup, 1/2 ounce cheeky lemon juice, 3 droppers of a floral bitters. And the bitters do contain a little bit of alcohol, so if you're actually trying to be 100%,
right,
then obviously just don't include.
But it's so low that, like, it's so low it doesn't even matter.
Did we get edible glitter in this one?
We did. I just threw it away.
Oh,
there's a lot of those like extra accoutrement that you get that it's like we don't like to do it. We did it for this, like putting the star anise on top. I wouldn't normally do that. I'd just throw it in the trash because I'm not going for looks. We're just going for flavor. But it is cool that they put those extras in there to make it look nice.
Having a little party or something.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so you're supposed to add 5 dashes of edible glitter. And then add the dried lemon slice and or lavender sprig that they included.
It was amazing.
It was so good.
The only thing I will say about when you get the tea recipes, though, you have to plan ahead a bit more. You can't just be like, oh, I want to make a mocktail right now. Because you need to make the tea and then have it cool enough to actually not have it be hot. So just a tip if other people are going to do it, what I started doing is I'll make the tea, but I'll make it in like a plastic measuring cup, and then immediately when the amount of time is done with the tea bag in there, which is usually about between 4 and 5 minutes, I just throw that out, and then I pull out a pan, put water in it, and a bunch of ice cubes, and then I just set that plastic measuring cup in the pan of ice water to sit for a bit, and it cools down pretty quick.
Yeah.
And I'll just kind of go and check by just like dipping my finger in just to get a temperature feel, and that gets it cold pretty fast, and then you can get to making your drink. But yeah, which is your favorite of the two? Oh, sorry, I did need to say one other thing. As I kept drinking the chai one, I'm getting a little bit of like a caramel to it, which is a really nice kind of added flavor as I keep drinking. There's a lot of depth of flavor to these drinks, and I think that's what I appreciate the most about it. Especially, if people listen to this podcast enough, like, we love complex beers. So we love complex mocktails in this case. So
they're definitely both drinks that, like, make you feel warm inside, even though they're over ice.
Yeah. And that's weird. That's a good point. That is kind of odd, but yes.
They're just like warming flavors.
Did you see what I was saying about that, like, caramelly?
I'm not getting it. I'm just still getting all the chai. It's just so chai forward, which is good because it should be. Are you getting any apple?
Yes.
You are?
I
Okay.
am actually getting a little bit of the apple as well, yeah. So it's actually getting a little caramel apple-y at moments for me, and I'm really digging it.
That's tasty.
These are both very good. So, I mean, that's basically all we had to say, I think, unless you had anything additional.
It's just a fun experience. I've gifted a box to both my sisters for birthday presents. We gifted a box to both of your sisters for Christmas.
Yeah, the one-time purchase ones are great for gifts.
Yeah.
Because some people won't necessarily find this on their own or think to get it on their own, but if you get it for them, they're going to make it. It's a fun thing.
And the one-off boxes, I'm not sure if there was shipping on it, but I know they were $55 a piece.
Okay. So it's a bit cheaper to subscribe.
Right.
Okay, got it. Okay, well, yep, that's all we have to say. But like we said, we have no ties to this company. We're not, getting money from them or any free products or anything like that. We just really believe in what they're doing because it just tastes good.
Yeah,
it tastes
something
great.
fun. It was a pandemic find. Something to look forward to each month.
Yep, definitely. And we're still looking forward to it.
Yeah.
That's the awesome thing about it. So, all right. Well, I guess that's it unless you had anything else.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Social medias and all that stuff. You can check out our back episodes on brutalbattle.com, or if you go to archive.org and search Brutal Battle. Please help us out to rate us and review us through whatever podcatcher you use. iTunes helps the most. And also word of mouth is a big deal for us as well. You can follow us on Untapped, where we check into everything we drink for the most part. I am Carlin Cook, Carlin C, or all one word, Carlton Malibu, as it sounds. And you?
Rebecca C.
And then Instagram.
Brutal Battle Podcast.
All right. And then I guess the only other thing is if you want to contact us for whatever reason, you have ideas for other episodes, you have certain beers or drinks you want on the podcast, things we haven't thought about, or you just want to hear us evaluate, brutalbattlepodcast@gmail.com. Shoot us an email, or if you just want to say hi or get recommendations for things, we're down for that too. So thank you very much, everyone, for listening to this, and until next time.
Keep it brutal.